One of my dear friends, but he works for the Spurs. He's in their front office. He texted me, bro, ... Wemby does one or two things every day that I've never seen before.
Did the big fella? Are you kidding me? Shooting two?
We are in a super early preseason stage, but Wembanyama has already given us a glimpse of insane things he can do on the court. And having followed Victor's season in France last year, I actually think his skill set and physical abilities match the NBA game even better than the one played in Europe. I believe this will make his transition much more easier. There are many reasons why, but one stands out more than the others. Hear me out.
Getting down the lane, handing to Wembanyama! Jackhammers it in!
So I'm pretty sure everybody remembers how Wemby's debut in Las Vegas was one of the worst ever. But even the Frenchman himself has made it clear that the whole draft process and the way Summer League basketball is played threw him off.
Honestly, I didn't really know what I was doing on the court tonight, but I'm trying to learn for the next games.
No wonder he failed to deliver in an environment where one-on-one basketball is the only salvation, and that's his not main strength. Now, after a full training camp with Greg Popovich, he looked solid in his first NBA minutes. San Antonio are still finding out the best ways to utilize him, as they have tried him in both power forward and center positions, but Wembanyama has already demonstrated he can also be a guard and create after dribbling the ball downhill. Knowing the teammates, set plays better, and playing in a more constructive environment obviously helps, but last year in Europe, he had even more of all those structural things. That did not always help. Yes, he still dominated most of his games as Metropolitans 92 went to the French League finals, but the European playing style made it pretty hard for Wembanyama to show off his best qualities when the teams began focusing their game plan on him. I'm pretty sure the NBA teams are going to have a huge emphasis on him as well, but are they going to, and can they, according to the rulebook, be as aggressive in denying him from the ball as Yves Pons does here to force the offensive foul? Many teams in Europe put smaller but stronger forwards next to Victor and instructed them to do their work early to force turnovers. The unicorn felt constant pressure with the ball in his hands, even above the three-point line, as veteran Charles Cahoudi forces Wembanyama to catch the ball with his back turned to the basket. It's definitely not ideal to start attacking the rim without looking at it first, as Cahoudi's close to foul line defense forces a tough miss. Sure, Victor has gained 9 kilos of weight over the summer, which will surely help him with bullies, but on how many nights he will face similar defense in the NBA? One of the sets San Antonio unveiled for Wemby is this rip screen to get him a mid-range area post catch. Thomas Bryant gives him more than enough space to pull up without the dribble, as he keeps a fair amount of distance. He probably doesn't know it yet, but that's exactly what Victor wants to do, since at this moment of his career, he doesn't possess strength or speed advantage over him. In the next clip, OKC do a better job of making the young talent earn the points. He is definitely not winning the speed battle, yet with his size, he still calmly races over, but the ball barely grazes the rim. In Europe, he had way too many forced attempts like this one because of aggressive defense. On the other hand, Wembanyama can definitely hit those. But how will that proportion look like in the NBA? I bet we can expect a bit more easier looks like this one, especially in transition.
This guy, and he's hit 2 in a row, nothing but net.
What a smooth follow-through.
That's another aspect of why I think Victor will be super impactful right from the start. Because of his freakish size and natural feel for the game, the open court is where he is unstoppable. And where else, if not the NBA, we can expect to see more fast breaks? In Europe, it was a rare occasion and the advanced statistics prove it. Transition touches were only the 6th most used offensive play type for him, accounting for only 8% of all of his possessions. In the NBA, this number goes up by almost 10%. Of course, it's only been 2 games for him at the moment as we are making this video, so it's a super small sample size, but I imagine everyone would agree this number will be definitely higher than the one in Europe, thus opening up easy opportunities.
On the fly, galloping for the dunk.
Court size, shorter three-point line, and the impact of no defensive free second rule in Europe have been discussed quite a lot in the past year. But let me show you the clips from Wembanyama's matches that will paint the picture even better. It's an ISO situation against a faster wing, meaning available space for Wemby is everything. Nail help on the left is so close there is no way he's gaining anything there. The defender closes him and he has to force a wild rainbow that airballs. Okay, that was a tough task with limited time. Here he goes up against a tall center who is definitely slower than him. But watch Kahudi pack the paint from a non-shooter, closing the possibility to drive right. Victor is forced to go the long way around on the left, and that's close to an impossible shot for him as well. Same matchup, different situation. Everyone seems glued to their guys to begin. But here's what a shorter three-point line and a smaller court do. D-Boss can stun, force Wemby to finish the dribble, and return to his man in time. Possession is dead, and he has to send another prayer towards the rim. Before comparing this with isolation examples from the NBA, please subscribe to our channel for a chance to win this Giannis jersey once we hit 150k subs. One lucky person will get it, so don't miss out. Now, even though it wasn't beautiful, watch Victor battle Chet Holmgren in the first of their many head-to-head matchups. It's an ISO with nobody else disturbing the Frenchman. Between the legs direction change for a 7'4" guy is sick, but that doesn't give him many advantage. However, the important thing here is that nobody is coming to stun from the sides, so he can just bump Chet, this time with his head, to score 2 points. One more example from the game against OKC. It's a matchup versus Jalen Williams, and despite not having speed advantage, Wemby can simply go into his body, spin after 2 dribbles to open himself up, and look where he meets the first help. There weren't no stuns, it's only rim protection services by Chet, and I'm not sure if I'm watching Kyrie or a 7'4" guy here.
On the spin and then goes with the left hand, got right around Holmgren.
I'm not saying stunt or nail help defense doesn't exist in the NBA. It absolutely does, but it's much harder to execute it without getting burned by it. Watch the Miami Heat do it European style, but with Wembanyama's passing, that opens up a good look for Devin Vassell. Greg Popovich seemed to like having Wembanyama attack from zoom situations or short passes, since it allows him to attack not from a static position. With his enormous strides, he gets to the free throw line before Duncan Robinson stunts. That stops him for a second, but he calmly waits until he returns and casually knocks it in. I know it might sound crazy to use the switch all system and put 6-foot guys on a 7'4" freak, but that's exactly what some European teams used it in their game plan. And it was quite successful, with active hands stripping the ball away from Wemby. No defensive 3-second rule also made it make more sense. Watch what happens. One guy is stunting, another is in the paint while his teammates are spaced out terribly bad. 1 against 3 is hard even for the young phenom. To compare, this is the perfect spacing from the NBA. I mean, it's the Spurs of all teams, you expect them to be stellar in this category. Also, bigger court and longer three-point line leaves more space for other players to cut, as Jeremy Sohan shows why sending doubles might not be a viable option versus Wembanyama. One of the main emphasis while doubling is making it hard for him to pass out. With the Frenchman's size, that's quite an impossible mission. He can just rise over any help. And with impeccable spacing of the Spurs, it's Vassell again benefiting off of Wembanyama.
Put up a three. How about the unselfish play there by Victor?
In the first 2 games, we witnessed all kinds of stuff from Wemby. Spot-up threes made with confidence, pull-up shots from zoom action as if he was a guard, and even an in-and-out into between-the-leg fadeaway mid-range. He also tried his best Luke Cornett closeout impersonation, and it might look funny, but I believe that's going to cause problems during the season. Not many things watching Wemby make sense, and we only talked about how his skills will transfer in offense, while the majority of experts praised his defensive impact in the first place. With Victor under the basket, grown men and NBA professionals are afraid to even look at the rim. But I don't judge them. I once played against Porzingis when he was 18, and I didn't look at the basket too. You can't really understand what it means to have a tall guy like him standing in the paint. He can guard 2 guys at the same time with his wingspan, as this was later overruled as a clean block, or cover insane distances in a matter of moments. As this pass is flying, it seems like the Heat are about to get an open look, but I guess the NBA will have to start thinking differently very quickly.
Knocked away, playing tennis. because he's got 4 blocked shots. Wembanyama.
I simply can't wait to see how Wembanyama will look like in his first NBA season. There will be growing pains, that's for sure. The NBA is the best league after all. But because of the skill set and the unique physical aspects he possesses, it might be actually easier for him to make a huge impact here right from the start. Let me know if you agree with this take in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.